as we discovered in the previous video. Generally speaking, you need to be at least 55 years of age, or certainly over the age of 50, in order to qualify for later life borrowing products. If you and your spouse or partner are applying for a loan together, the lender will look at the age of the youngest person, so they would have to be at least 55 or whatever minimum age is specified by the lender, which your advisor can confirm for you. And there isn't always an upper age limit, although each lender will have their own rules on the maximum age of client they will accept. So again, your advisor will need to check that you will be accepted if you or your spouse, partner, are considerably older, but other than your age. What other qualification criteria do you need to be aware of if you are thinking of applying for later life borrowing? Firstly, you must of course own a property. This will form the security for the loan, and if you still have an outstanding mortgage on that property that you cannot repay beforehand, you will need to use part of your new loan to repay that mortgage in full. If your outstanding mortgage amount is more than half of the current value of your home, this will restrict the borrowing options available to you, especially if you are under the age of 70. Secondly, the property will need to be within the United Kingdom, although it's important to note that some lenders will not accept properties in Northern Ireland, and there may also be restrictions on Scottish properties because of the different house buying and legal process there compared to England and Wales. The next qualification criteria is property value. Typically, your home will need to be worth at least £70,000, although some lenders will have higher minimum value limits of £100,000 or even higher. Another important point to bear in mind is that the property you want to take out the loan against must be your primary residence. So if you normally live abroad but you have a holiday home in the UK, it is unlikely you would qualify for a loan. Finally, it's important that you seek independent, specialist financial advice. In fact, for many later life borrowing products, this is a mandatory requirement, as you cannot apply directly to a lender without first receiving advice. So, let's summarize what we've learned in this video. To qualify for later life borrowing, you and your spouse or partner, if applicable, both typically need to be aged at least 55. You'll need to own your own home in the UK worth at least £70,000, and this will need to be your primary residence. You will also need to repay any existing mortgage or other debt secured against your property, either before you apply or with the proceeds of your later life loan. Financial advice is highly recommended, and for many later life borrowing products, it is a mandatory requirement. In the next video, we'll take a look at the different types of costs and fees associated with later life borrowing.